All right, so now it's recording. Yep, cool. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone. Bridget here in Canada, and Thomas is in Florida. So, yeah, we're having a Zoom meeting, and also presenting the work that I've been doing on looking at what evidence we have in the architecture for ancient Egypt in North America, and not just ancient Egypt, but Mesoamerica too. But the idea is to use the Sphinx as a symbol because it appears across cultures that official history tells us the narratives are disconnected. So this presentation examines if these similarities are coincidental, or they might give us an idea that there might be a remnant of a lost worldwide civilization, which is what I believe, having done this research. And you should probably go back and watch one of my other videos before this one if you're unfamiliar with the way that I see the world in terms of melted structures, as well as the old world and the reset cycles. And we're going to be seeing quite a bit of evidence for both of those as well. So without further ado, here we go.
Great, looking forward to it. And I know you've done a lot of prep work on this one. That's been going on again for a couple of months, right? So, and
Yeah.
you
The arc of it's been a bit strange because I started off doing something completely different, and then, as you
yeah.
know,
Well, that's kind of how your path of discovery goes. You cycling through the meltology and the old world, and then you uncovers new parts to the puzzle, and
yeah,
it's amazing the way things are unfolding and the new information that's coming out. So I mean, and you've
exactly.
yeah, so now you've kind of got into the I guess like you talk about the Sphinx a lot, which sounds to me like Egypt, but really it's all over the world. So I can't wait to see what you yeah.
Yeah, well, as you said, it appears all over the world, and we see it in Egypt, Greece, Persia, India, China, and North
Wow.
America, and Mesoamerica, which is well, South America and Central and America, Mexico. And so, we're told that those culture, there's no relationship between these cultures, but why do they share that same
Mm,
symbolism? And so, what this aims to show that we see these symbols all over the world, and what Hollywood has done is manufactured the language that we understand, not just of ancient Egypt, but of all cultures around the world. So
mm.
one of the really amazing things I've come across while I've been doing this is massive film sets in California
Wow.
that now that we know what we know about the world fairs, I believe were original structures that were still in the Californian desert and in Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
That's
we're
the
going to be
first I've
looking.
heard of that, and just since you've brought it up, it just
Yeah, it's
segues in. So from, like you said, from the World Fairs, like obviously there was more than just the fairs. How many more structures were there they destroyed and
exactly.
used
So
them to create a narrative from the sounds of it?
yep, yep, they did. Yeah. So this is just a table of contents. So I like to put that up just to let people, who want to a bit more of a comprehensive understanding of my process. But you can read that in your own time.
Oh, okay.
Or do you want me to go through that, Thomas? Or
Oh, I'm just having a scan over it here, just getting an idea of everything. You're going to go over all this today, are you? Is that the plan, or is this a
that's the
multi?
plan. No, that's today. Yeah. I'm going to be skipping through some of the slides quite quickly, though.
Okay,
So,
cool,
yeah.
great.
All right, let's get going. So, everybody's probably familiar with this. This is from The Never Ending Story, one of my favorite movies. I think one of yours too, eh, Thomas?
Oh, can I just, I mean, I remember they played it in school when I was like, I don't know what, grade five or something like that, or maybe younger, grade three. It was branded on my brain like it was so many other kids.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this is the most famous Sphinx riddle from Greek mythology, and it was Oedipus asking they call it a Nubian Sphinx. What
Mm.
goes on 4 feet in the morning, 2 feet at noon, and 3 feet in the afternoon, and in the evening? And
Mm.
you'll get the answer at the end of the presentation. I think Thomas already knows it.
Ooh, I'm not sure about that. If I did, I don't remember. So now I'm be anticipating.
So that's just an example of some of the sphinxes we see, the different styles of them around the world. And so this is a Greek sphinx, Egyptian, Etruscan, Indian, Assyrian. These are not sphinxes, they're Lamazu, but they're still guardians. And this guardian archetype is very strong right across the world. Um, China, Iran, and this is in southern Afghanistan. I'm sorry, Pakistan. And this is where the meltology comes in because you can clearly see this looks quite a lot like a sphinx. But we're going to be seeing a bit more of that. And this is another shot just to show you that from the work that I've done, I see some tremendous parallels between the ancient Egyptian architecture, very rectilinear, the megalithic stuff, and particularly the Memphis architecture, which is
Mm.
different. So we're going to be looking at that and comparing it to the Art Deco America and
Mm.
some of the megalithic projects that we've seen, like dam building and things like that. So the first question, like the official narrative is that the pyramids of Giza were built in 2500 BC, according to our calendar. So that's 4,500 years ago. So they're in pretty good shape for that, I think. um, do you really believe a Stone Age people built the pyramids of Giza? And in our community, we do not believe that, right, Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, and never mind what they say the pyramids were. It's pretty obvious now that some kind of energy generation or something far more spectacular than a bunch of kings competing with each other for a the most spectacular,
Yeah,
burial site.
exactly. Yeah. And this is a picture of Napoleon when he came across the Sphinx in his campaign conquering Egypt in 18 or 1799, around then. And you can see that it's completely buried. And this is sort of in line with the mud flood theory that we talk about quite a bit, which says that there was a catastrophic flood and like frequency slash plasma event that melted a lot of uh, especially red brick buildings, but also concrete and metal and
Mm.
everything in the cities. So yeah, that's what we think happened about 500 years ago, and there was a massive flood. So that's why we see all of this material, and you see this all over the world. And then this is sort of the popular Western idea of what Egypt looks like with the intrepid European explorers, um, who are really just actors, and they literally are. That's your Brenner. And I'm going to be looking at some structures. This is Giza up here, and then that's where the pyramids are, and then down here there's the Valley of the Kings. That's where they found King Tut, and this is there's supposedly like a sort of a 1,000-year gap between these two civilizations.
Mm.
And now the one that we're looking at, this is Memphis, is very close to Giza, and that's the oldest civilization, which is about 3,000 years old. And what you find, the further you go back in the history of Egyptian architecture, the more refined and beautiful it gets.
Uh,
So, yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. And that's just another picture of the Sphinx. And you can see that there's chambers all under here.
Uh,
You can see this block work in here turning into what we think of as maybe stone if it was a bit further along. And space everywhere.
yeah. And is it even Egyptian? Like some of your earlier research that might have gone back to, maybe you're going to cover this later on, but like Lemurian or Atlantean, even like which,
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that in this. I'm really
no.
trying to keep it like just based on a visual analysis.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of people
So
like, I like, are the Sphinxes like, were they dogs or something originally, or cats
well,
or
I
what?
definitely think this has been modified, absolutely. Like look at
Yeah.
how giant the paws are.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then you can see that it's bricks on the back. These are bricks. The
Yeah.
Sphinx is made of brick. And you can see here they say this is a repair job, the tail and the oh there it is. The tail and the paw. They say this is a repair job, but I just think it's classic meltology. It's just been
Mm,
changed. You can see the bricks all along here.
perfect there. Yeah.
Perfect. They say that's a repair job.
Mm.
So I just wanted to show you a typical H-frame Egyptian temple, which this is in southern Egypt. It's, today it was Aswan, but in the past it was Nubia, and it was part of the Kingdom of Kush, which I believe was really involved in the pyramid building. And just to show you what I'm talking about with the further you go back in time, this is a reconstruction from 3000 BCE. Look how magnificent it is. And there's
Wow.
architectural, archaeological evidence for all of this. And they had all of these animal-headed statues, like Ra, the sun god, was a falcon, and Basket was a cat, I think, and then Anubis was a dog, and that was the ancient Egyptian religion. And
Mm.
you can see that there's these ram-headed sphinxes, or whatever.
Right. That's why I
Um,
was asking before, because I thought that the Sphinx was potentially, was it Anubis? Is that what you like? And that it was actually aligned to, in the celestial alignment was into the age of the dog or whatever it was. I'm not an expert on that,
was
but
it? Oh, okay.
that's what I could be wrong, but that's what I understood. And then because the ones that took over, um, it was in a different era, the age of the ram or something like that. That's why they hacked it all up. They wanted to destroy make it look like it was them,
Interesting. I
something
didn't know
along
that.
those
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah. And then this is a statue that is typical of that Memphis Ptah, who was it was like he was the god of that area, and that's who they worshipped. So Utah, Ptah,
Wow.
Memphis,
Mm.
Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not an accident, and there's lots of Egyptian names all over the states. But just to show you, this is going back, as a long, long way. And look how extraordinarily beautiful this is. Like it's clearly, well, you're an engineer. Like, how do you think they made that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like some kind of laser technology or sound equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, and also massive, like 11 meters tall.
Right. Just getting the material in place would be the first,
Yeah,
thing to
but
figure
it's
out.
very this sort of limestoney look is very typical of that Memphis era, and
Mm.
it's also quite Art Deco. I'm going to show you that. It looks
Wow.
quite Art Deco later on. And this is another really interesting site. It's called Abu Simbel. Again, it's like mud flooded, and they say that this site is 800 years younger than this site where this guy's from, but they look pretty similar, eh?
Yeah. Definitely the same
And
style.
that's it in situ. So that's what it looks like today. And
Huh?
again, you can see brick. everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are really magnificent. There's two of these, and they look like they're cut into the
Yeah.
wall, but they're not. They're probably melted. And right here, that's Ra. That's the sun god,
Okay.
and that he was the original god, and then they turned it into Ra Atun, which was more to do with the pharaonic line and the kings, so that they could
Mm-hmm.
control the divine lineage through a
Mm.
through a,
Right.
a human uh, king, generally.
Right.
And then that's that Sphinx platform that is in Pakistan.
Oh, wow. Does look like the remains of it, just like the one in the Grand Canyon. Like it's not quite, but might as well be. So that would you'd say would be a melt. I mean, it looks like a remains of some superstructure below it too, like the columns and
Yeah,
entrances. You can just see it.
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, and I want to thank all the independent creators out there because we're all sort of using each other's material, and I have no idea where a lot of the stuff even comes from a lot of the time, but this one I do. So thank you. And this is a shot from the movie set for a film called Ten Commandments, which was obviously biblical film in 1923. And it was shot in Guadalupe, California, which is about 150 miles north of LA. So that's
Look how weathered that um, Sphinx or whatever looks. It doesn't look like
that's from the film set. So we're going to be
right.
looking, that's a Sphinx from the film set, and they would say that
Wow.
was a prop. They would say that was a prop. But
Right.
good, yeah, you're absolutely right. It looks ancient, yeah. And then this is another shot, also looking ancient, and this is the directors and the
Wow.
crew.
Yeah.
Pretty extraordinary, eh? This is in
Amazing.
California,
Just that, yeah, that was in the United States and at all. It's yeah.
and this is the film set.
Wow.
So yeah, this is what they say they built in the middle of the desert.
Okay.
And there's a pyramid, a steep side, like a smooth-sided pyramid that looks very like
Yeah.
Giza. And there's
Wow.
this H frame structure which looks very Egyptian, and these steels on here that look kind of Art Deco, if you ask me.
Mm. Mm.
And these guys look very much like Abu Simbel, right? That
Yeah. Identical. I mean,
Yeah. So the massive sets included 35-foot tall pharaoh statues, 21 sphinxes, and gates reaching a height of 110 feet. A
oh my
small
goodness.
army of 1,600 workers. So after the film, it wasn't just after this film, but after another one they in the 1950s, also called the Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston and Yul Brynner. They dynamited the whole film set, and buried it in the sand.
Right. Rinse and
Yeah,
repeat, just like the World Fair. So that's incredible. Like,
so, oh yeah, sorry. Carry on.
well, it's just like in modern sets, like, like the Back to the Future set, you can still go and check it out. It's all, weeds and everything all growing up through it. They don't destroy them. Why would they go to that much effort with 110-foot high structures and then, blow it to bits after that just sounds like a cover up job.
Yep, sure does. So they literally is a cover-up job because they're uncovering it now. So in 2012, archaeologists uncovered the head of one of the prop sphinxes.
Really?
And in 2014, showed that the body of the sphinx had deteriorated significantly, but a second, better preserved sphinx was discovered and excavated. So I'm going to show you some
At
photos.
Guadalupe at the site?
Yes, right at the site.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And this is another couple of sphinxes from the area.
Wow.
Amazing.
Incredible.
That's on set.
Wow.
This is the Egyptian slave driver.
Right. Yeah, I remember him in the movie. Yeah.
The Israelites and then Moses. I'm going to get to them. And then this is the Sphinx.
Is that in a
So
museum or something, or is it?
this is in the museum. So this is supposedly a movie prop.
Okay. Wow.
Does that
Well,
look like a movie prop to
made
you?
of, I mean, is it made of paper mache or something, or what? Like, what is it in the museum? Like,
They would probably say plaster, but it's
yeah.
just
Well, then they might have just made a piece that might not even been from it. They just made a piece and said it was from the film set. I could see them doing that just to try to.
oh no, they definitely dug it up because there's
Yeah.
other like I've got
Okay.
the yeah, so
Right.
these things sometimes pop up in the, and then they have to find a explanation for them.
Yeah. Make up something quick.
Yeah. So this was also the start of the westernized image of what Egypt is. Um, this guy was playing Ramses II, who was a pharaoh. His name was it was a Frenchman called Charles de Roche, and obviously not what Ramses probably looked like, but anyway, we're going to get to that. And then this is a film set, the film set in the desert, and you can see even these
Oh,
hieroglyphics here too,
yeah. Right. That's
and
amazing.
that compares it to Karnak, and this is in Egypt, which
Okay. Yeah.
was buried and now it's been excavated.
Wow.
And then this is the 1956 version with Charlton Heston as Moses. Here he is, Moses leading the people,
Right.
and an avenue.
1956, was it the same set?
It was the same set.
Yeah.
They left it
Okay.
up for like 40 years or something.
Okay.
So it was just sitting in the desert.
Right.
So how this doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
Wow.
but by now they've painted it all up.
Yeah. Okay. For
I'm
the
pretty sure it wasn't like that before. It was all just, a relief.
right.
I think they've done that to quite a lot of Egyptian artifacts, is painted them
Mm,
to confuse and obfuscate what the the artistry of the craftsmanship.
yeah.
And this is Charlton Heston as Moses parting the Red Sea. There
Oh.
he is, looking very, I don't know.
Mm,
There's your Brunner.
huh.
And a lot of this imagery, I'm going to do a whole part two on this because I think it's really interesting. But a lot of this imagery came down through the occult, schools with people like Aleister Crowley, who
Oh
had
wow.
a massive influence on stars like, I hate to say it, David Bowie, because I love David Bowie, but
Yeah.
uh, it was all of this stuff was what they used to define what ancient Egypt felt like in the West
Mm,
to us.
right. All in their inverted projection, like always.
Yes. Yeah. Like I'm closer to the Golden Dawn, immersed in Crowley's uniform of imagery. That's David Bowie from Quicksand.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it really says it all, that line.
Wow.
And then this is just to show you how they sort of whitewashed Egypt. This is Ludwig Borchardt in his studio in Amana, Egypt in 1913 with his recently discovered bust of Nefertiti. And I'm
Wow.
also be doing a whole thing on the King Tut's tomb in the next one. But on this one, I'm going to be staying focused on the architecture. But the discovery of King Tut had an enormous impact on how we perceive Egypt as well.
Mm, wow.
So we're going to head to North America now, and we're going to look at Egyptian bronze doors and other sphinxes and cemeteries with Egyptian themes. So just to recap, there was an Egyptomania wave in the 1870s, and that was concurrent with the Suez Canal opening. And then in 1922, Tutankhamun's tomb. And before that, going way back, it was also the Rosetta Stone was really important because that was in 1822, because it meant that the Egyptian hieroglyphs could be decoded, translated from ancient Greece. And that was really important because then what it did is it gave them a way to say, yep, that's a king's tomb. There's a list of kings, and his name's all over the tomb. And suddenly there was a lot of evidence for the king's tombs.
Interesting.
So this is in where's that one again? Pitts. Oh no, where is that? It's Mount Auburn Cemetery, and I can't even remember where it is now. Sorry about that. Mount Auburn Cemetery, but it was the first cemetery, Egyptian themed cemetery opened in the States in 1822. And you can see
themed cemetery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it had an Egyptian gate, and with this sun disk which comes up a lot, representing Ra, and the wings, which looks super Art Deco to me. And then these square temple style low-lying buildings are very typical of the Egyptian style, and we see them all over North America as well.
Wow.
And obelisks.
Yeah.
That's it today. And of course, we see that they've removed all the juicy stuff off it, right? And what's really weird about this photo is that these have gone, and now they're these, which was.
And the sun symbol in the center entrance seems to be gone too, compared to the previous.
It has, yeah. And then this is in Brooklyn Woolworth Mausoleum, and I find these bronze doors really fascinating because they look like the Iroquois, like the Iroquois Nation people.
Yeah, they do have a resemblance, to a degree. Yeah.
Yeah, and yet they look quite Egyptian, like if you look at the Ankh and this is Isis or Hathor, I think, of Sundisk, and the Atun rays. I'll show you a picture of that later on, but very Egyptian, right? Very Egyptian. And look, beautiful buxom sphinxes.
Wow.
You see those?
Yeah.
Aren't they amazing?
Can you zoom in on that, or no? Probably not.
I can, yeah. Oh shoot, where's my sphinxes? Oh, yeah, the sphinxes. Sorry. I can, but I think I might have put it somewhere else.
Oh, it's all right.
Anyway, I'll put one up later on. But there's lots of sphinxes in other graveyards too. This is another one. This is in Wisconsin.
The face on that character looks like
and what's interesting,
president or something.
Oh, you're right. You're not wrong.
I don't know who it is, but
yeah. Well, anyway, what's interesting is like you see these sphinxes are sort of, I don't even know how to describe them. They look a little bit Egyptian, but Egyptian sphinxes aren't supposed to be female. So there you go. And then this is also a female sphinx, look, and looks pretty Egyptian.
Doesn't look very female in the face, but I guess could be.
And then this is an Art Deco sphinx outside the I think it looks Art Deco outside an Egyptian revival Masonic temple in Salt Lake City. There it is.
Wow. It's incredible.
Oh, there's okay, maybe I did come back to it. This is the Allegheny Cemetery with the badass female sphinxes.
Okay.
There she is.
Wow.
Yeah, she's great.
Wow.
This is in the United States. Like, why were they building this?
Yeah, I know. evidence mounting of that? Like obviously these ancient civilizations, they had little setups all over the world because there's such a difference in like there's
Yeah.
would they say that's kind of Greco-Romano? Is that like a modern explanation or would
No, I don't think they would get away with saying that was
okay, 'cause, I mean it just
Greco-Romano.
has
They
the
would say it
columns
was
and all that, but
Egyptian revival.
okay.
Yeah, that's what they would say. But there's some interesting. I think that what they've done is they've dissected all of the different archaeological styles, like revival, Egyptian with Art Deco, with retro, with kitsch. It's all the same thing a little bit.
Mm,
And then on the other side, you've got the more Moorish revival and the Persian styles, which are very similar, and the Islamic, which has really adopted the Persian architecture. So
right.
it's really interesting when you start like taking labels off things and just stop thinking, oh, that's such and such. I need to think that's a Greco-Romano or that's don't think of it like that. Just look at the similarities in the design
Mm,
and the symbols. Yeah, and then that's just to give you an example with where I see like the relationship with Art Deco. This is in Syracuse, and it's called the
okay.
Mo Building.
Oh yeah, I remember we stopped by. That's all made it looks like it's made of metal or something, right?
Yeah,
That,
it's
yeah,
incredible. Yeah, I think
yeah.
I've got a picture of it. There it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, that looks yeah. Wow.
And that is a picture of the Iroquois man, and he looks quite similar to the Egyptian bronze doors.
Mm,
And that's just to show you like the shared symbolism
yeah,
and the road, like what they were wearing looked quite similar, right, on the doors.
yeah,
And then um, the Iroquois, they actually controlled the whole St. Lawrence River area. That was their territory.
mm,
So all the way up to Quebec, and down to Chicago, I think, where it was the Iroquois territory, and they formed a pact between them with different tribes because they were getting trounced by the British and the French. They were fighting the
mm.
French mostly and the Hurons. But um, what's interesting is that I think their whole history really is quite. There's some super parallels with the ancient Egyptians, including their symbology, which I haven't got into. But this is the sort of the image that they like to portray of native people. But I don't think that's necessarily true. I think they weren't like they were trying to make them out like they were primitive savages. But
Yeah, totally. All part of the we're the greatest and best that have ever existed right now, and smartest, and
yeah,
downgrading people from the past.
yeah. So instead of that, I believe that there is a lost, highly advanced, multiple megalithic world cultures. And I think you believe that too, eh,
Oh,
Thomas?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, as do the majority of the community we're connected with now is getting this figured out.
yeah. So part of the thing that got us both into the subject with the world was the world fairs. And this is an example of Buffalo Pan American Exposition from 1901, the electric tower. I mean, this is incredible, like unbelievable. So, what they would say is that this is powered by no from Niagara Falls,
Mm,
uh, which it may well have been. But what's interesting is that when we look really closely at the design aesthetics of Niagara Falls, even it looks like a megalithic um, dam from the past. And it's got amazing similarities to some other major projects in the States, like the Hoover Dam.
mm.
So we're going to look at that. And also these guys here look kind of Iroquois, don't they?
Yeah.
You see them? Can you see
Yeah.
the?
Which, yeah, definitely. Which I think some people say like the Atlantean, um, the look of the Atlantean became the Navajo, all of the native tribes through North America. They were kind of like the last of them, but let's get going into another whole thing.
Yeah, but this is supposedly built as a temporary structure out of plaster. So
Yeah.
good luck with good luck with the
I think
fountain.
that narrative is pretty much falling apart now, unless you're incredibly gullible.
Hmm. And this is not Niagara Falls, it's the Hoover Dam. And you can see these buildings actually look very similar to buildings we see around Niagara Falls, as well as these tunnels that are, out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's probably like tunnels running all under here, same as
Well, I
there
think
is.
that's proven now. There's all sorts of secret tunnels all over
Yeah,
under the Hoover
exactly.
Dam.
And
Ancient.
we see the same thing at Niagara, right? Yeah. But the
Yeah.
thing I'm really focused on, sorry, and I keep interrupting you.
Oh no, I was just saying. Yeah, we've been in the tunnels. I mean, and then those are some of the ones that are now being open to the public. Never mind, what else there's all, and
Yeah, and it's super cool to go in those tunnels. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna be organizing a meetup in April at Niagara Falls for meltology peeps. So yeah, Tara Johnson and I are gonna be organizing that. Yeah.
yeah, just seeing the ancient the remains of the penstocks from the supposed Tesla era generators in there is just spectacular. Like that they're showing that to the public. I mean, like we walked down the tunnel where they released the water back to the lower part of the falls, and like you were showing, you could see clearly that there's like 3 layers of brick in the tunnel.
Yes,
That's just
yes. Boy, I
like
think
the
it was,
proof
and
that,
that's the official narrative. I mean, it's you can see it right there. It's
yeah. Well, they
four
say
layers.
it's a repair job, but it doesn't make any sense. It looks like the remains of something much, much older.
Mm-hmm. So I just flicked through the Grand Coulee Dam in Washington, which is similar design also. That was another of these big infrastructure projects of the 1930s under Roosevelt that they said they did to, kickstart the economy after the Great Depression. And so I've done some work with AI, had some fun. And I believe there's a lot of similarities. I can't believe it now that I've looked into it, but between ancient Egypt and these megalithic Art Deco dams and power stations. So there's Niagara Falls, and you can see that this is the top of the falls, and you can see that this is all structure under here,
Yeah.
right? So my theory is that the whole thing was a hydroelectric dam similar to Hoover Dam.
Right. Long before what they originally when they claimed that they built the original one, it was actually just reconditioned what was already there and expanded. Like remember those massive doors that raise and lower that go down to the lower the vent off? It's like you look at that, you're like, okay, like there's a lot more going on below this than what they're telling us. It's in plain sight.
Yeah. So that's what I imagine it looked like.
Wow, wow. So now, if it was a dam, though, that would indicate that the water at the top it's actually like a very deep ravine, or what like, when you build a dam, it's usually like a deep crevice going way back, right? So, that would be the only,
Not
no,
necessarily. I mean, that's just how we think of them, but
okay.
I don't know. I'm just having some fun, but I do think there's a lot of similarities with the architecture and including Battersea coal powered station, which was also said to be built in the 1930s.
Hmm.
And that's the chimneys. This is very, very typical of like the ancient Egyptian Sakura, the oldest pyramid area, and I'm going to show you a picture of that. I
Hmm.
think it's called the Dashur Pyramid. But these chimneys were originally square, as an Art Deco square,
Hmm.
and they say they changed them to circular for aesthetics.
I'd be going through a heck of a lot of work just over that. That doesn't like I can't see
Mm-hmm.
them. I mean, that's almost like a timeline bleed thing or something. Maybe I don't know.
So weird. Yeah.
Bizarre.
And then, it's not surprising we see the similar stuff in London as the US, and obviously Washington. I haven't really gone into Washington too much in this one, but we see obelisks all over the world, and they are a very clear symbol of control.
Hmm.
And
Well, they've been
I
turned into that now, right? They were, some people call them acupuncture needles of into the energy ley lines and meridians for, generating power and everything. But now they don't, I mean,
Yeah, and also they were symbolic of of Mount Meru, sort of the Axis Mundi,
okay.
and that's what I believe anyway. And so there's another picture of Niagara Falls' Terrapin Tower. That it was an observation tower that they said they built right on the edge of the falls.
Right. It's almost like it was there, but then they diverted some of the spillover underneath it or something, or I mean, or they built it when they blocked.
How could you possibly build a tower there? It doesn't make.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know they can shut the water off going over the falls. It's been completely turned off numerous times for supposed infrastructure repairs and that. So hypothetically, that's what they did, and then turned it back on. Uh,
Yep, that's a theory. And then this is what I was saying at Djoser. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's the oldest pyramid site in Egypt. And don't you think it looks pretty similar to that?
yeah,
So
similarity here.
this one is 5,000 years old. This one
Okay.
is this one is 70 years old,
Right.
hereabouts.
Yeah.
100 years old. 100 years, 4,000, 5,000, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes no sense.
It's this.
And then this is the American side of the falls in 1880, and they were using
Oh,
hydraulic power right along the edge of the falls to
wow.
power their, timber and
That one
machinery.
building looks like it says aluminum on it or something.
Yeah, it does.
And the other one says Cliff Paper Co. Hmm.
Mm.
Oh, there was all kinds of industry along there. That was when in that time the water didn't go over the falls, did it? It was basically all captured and then is that right? And then just
No, I don't think so, because I've seen photos of them. Well, that's the thing. I don't know, because the early paintings of the fall are just, you know, made up, and as far as I can.
yeah. But I thought you had some photos of the actual Horseshoe Falls, like completely like industry going all the way around the top of the whole thing. No?
No, no,
Okay.
but you see buildings on both sides, the Canadian side and
Oh,
the
okay.
yeah, for sure. And then this power station is now being turned into a hotel.
Yeah.
They're putting another
That's
thing. Oh, sorry, carry on.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. So if you go to Niagara Falls, you dum de dum, you're going along checking out the falls, you drive down Clifton Hill, and you drive past this building, and like what? Like totally out of place,
Amazing.
and just closed off for I don't know how long now. Just like
Decades,
yeah.
yeah. And along this side, they're putting another structure, and this is very Egyptian looking on this side.
Mm,
Actually, it's got like the square windows long,
right.
and just like this on the inside. See, so
Now
now,
this is the actual power station that it's been turned into a tourist attraction, right?
that's right. Yeah. Well, no, this isn't. No, sorry, this is not. This is
Oh,
Hoover
oh, I
Dam.
see. Right. Okay. Oh, they look so similar. Right. Yeah.
I know they do. That's why I put them up, because this one
Oh,
was built in 1894 by Tesla in
yeah.
Westinghouse,
Or
and this one,
reconditioned, more likely. But
that's
yeah.
what they say, yeah.
Yeah.
And this was 1930s.
Wow.
So there was like 40 years separating these.
Yeah.
They look identical.
It's amazing to imagine that they say, electricity was invented in, what was it like, the 1870s and officially reintroduced in or not electricity, well, like 1893 World Fair was when they started to showcase the marvels of this great discovery of electricity. But yet, like within like 10 years, they're casting these massive generators, and like the knowledge jump is like okay, like even what you see them displaying in the World Fairs, it's like all these General Electric generators is obviously technology that they had and they were just showcasing it, or maybe they didn't even know what half of it did possibly when
Yeah,
that or
exactly. Had to figure it out as they went along.
yeah.
And that's in Grand Coulee turbines in Washington,
Wow.
another power station. And you did actually, this is about the Erie Canal, but you did a bit of work on the Erie Canal. Originally 363 miles long, and it was built in 8 years by
Yeah,
hand
I know.
between 1817 and 1825.
During a time when there was no skilled engineers available in North America, there was a quite a big skills shortage of skilled people. So they just say that these kind of amateurs engineered, and they even had to go over the escarpment with the canal at one point.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like,
come
and this is
on.
they didn't even have dynamite; they were using black powder back then, so it doesn't even.
And it was a Canadian winter,
Yeah.
US winter. Yeah, makes no sense. Yeah. So, um, this is my reconstruction of the Erie Canal in Art Deco style, Thomas.
Oh, nice. I
I
like
thought
it.
you might enjoy.
Yeah, it's great. Love the reflection in the water and everything.
And I have a lot of evidence for these little steep-sided pyramids everywhere, by the way. And I'm going to be doing that in part two. But these are really a signature feature. Also, I just put a cool train in.
Nice.
And so one of the things I think they've done, is taken sites that had like authentic pyramids, and one of those is Niagara Falls, and they've turned them into a joke, right? They've turned them into their own icon. And they've done
Yeah.
that in Niagara Falls, done it in Memphis, they've done it in Las Vegas. So I'm going to show you that now. And
Well,
this is what I believe, but I believe that they're these fake pyramids are temples to their own, conquering of the past civilization.
um,
Now an IMAX theater in Niagara Falls, and it was called Pyramid Place. There was a
oh,
reason it was called Pyramid Place.
really? Oh,
Mm. There's lots of Egyptian motifs at Niagara Falls. Like, by the way, Canada is like scrubbed clean for this stuff. It is so hard to find stuff in Canada compared to the States. Toronto, especially, like, it's really hard to find Egyptian influence, but I do suspect it was strongly there as well. But I have found a few cemeteries.
mm,
But you can see that, like, they kind of made a mockery of Egypt with all of the Clifton Hill stuff. Like, it's just like
yeah,
Canada's Las Vegas, basically.
yeah.
And we take our kids here sometimes.
It's a fun place to visit, but you can really sense the mockery and the
Yeah.
false. I don't just it just is everything about it just feels false. Not the falls, of course. That's where you see the beauty and the magic. If you're looking,
Hmm. And this is just like to show you the symbolism similarities between Art Deco and ancient Egypt. So this is a statue of the Egyptian goddess Isis, although I'm not sure about that title now, but this is the Hoover Dam. And these guys were the largest single cast bronze installations at the time in 1935.
Mm,
So there's quite a lot of like, stylistic similarity there.
yeah.
And this is also a relief at Hoover Dam. And this guy sort of reminded me of like a more of a native look. And it says they died to make the desert bloom.
Mm,
But
wow.
we do know that they were giants. We definitely know that they were giant.
Yeah.
Uh, and they're described as the land of giants in old Chinese maps. Now we're going to go to Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee, rock out with the king.
Mm.
And so this is a sphinx found in Memphis in
Wow.
1911.
Incredible. Yeah. Wow. It looks totally mud flooded too, like the level, different level there.
Yeah.
Ancient.
And this is a sphinx from Memphis, Egypt. So as you can see, they look identical.
Yeah.
And this
Interesting.
is the modern pyramid in Memphis, which was built on the site, I believe, of an older, authentic pyramid, which
Okay.
I'm going to show you a picture of in a second. But now it is an entertainment center, and I think it's a Bass Pro Shop actually.
Oh wow. So it's a hollow, empty, like so it's obviously a recreation of some
It's a
sort.
recreation, but you can see it's black. It's kind of
Yeah.
brutal looking. That's what
Yeah.
the original pyramid probably looked like.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, how would they?
That's in Memphis.
Wow.
That
Wow.
doesn't look like that, does it?
Oh,
And this artifact here, I think, was maybe part of the original pyramid. And that's what
okay.
they do. They take artifacts from the original and, make them a statue or you know, um, a display in the new.
And this photo on the left, what is it? It's trying to make it look like they've got a crane lifting it into place or something.
Guess so.
Hoist it off the ground. I kind of doubt you'd be able to do that. I mean,
Yeah, actually, you got a good point there. Yeah, yeah.
there's something not right about that.
And then somebody did some really fun things with AI. They just put like pyramids in Memphis. But
Uh,
it's not that silly because there's mounds all over the place. There's mounds everywhere, like earthworks. And so you can imagine that if this is buried, it just looks like a hill. Well, as we're finding out, there's like thousands and thousands of
yeah.
these anomalies that we see,
You
especially over
talking about the
east.
mounds or
Yeah, I'm going to get to the mounds. Yeah.
yeah.
And then this is what I was talking about before. This is what they've done with this is why I'm not that big on Isis anymore because that's the eye of Horus, right? And it's the triangle of Isis, Horus, and Osiris. And I
Okay.
do believe that was the beautiful ancient religion, and it's been corrupted.
Uh, yeah.
And now we
And
go
the
to oh,
and
sorry,
the,
Karen.
the blocking of the one eye, what you're showing there always now indicates that controlled, been taken over.
Yep,
Only half your ability to navigate the realm. The other half is manipulated by the underworld or whatever you want to call them.
yep, exactly.
Again, that's just superimposed black magic.
And now we're going to Vegas, which is really Egypt mania has always been a thing in Vegas, as well as uh the birth of retro kitsch was Vegas. Like this is Fremont Street in the 1930s, I think.
Mm.
And it was also one of the hubs where it was like the icon of the New World Order, because they wanted everyone like, gambling and drinking and, sleeping around and doing a lot of drugs. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and that
Yeah.
was probably just an excuse to behave badly.
Yeah.
And this is also like a ritualistic site for them, because I think it is, because it was the site of the Las Vegas shooting.
Oh, okay. Many of, oh, what, the one at the Mandalay, or?
The one, yeah, the one, what was it, 2017 or something?
Oh, okay.
No, when was it?
Yeah.
I can't even remember now. But it was not
Yeah,
that long ago.
that's, yeah, it sounds maybe, yeah, we're not far off that, but that pyramid was already there before that.
No, I know they
Oh,
replaced it, but that's probably where the original one was.
oh, okay.
And you can see there's an obelisk here as well.
Yeah.
Oops. So that's the Luxor Hotel,
Wow.
and you can see there's a giant fake
Yeah.
sphinx outside, who's very masculine, not
Yeah.
feminine,
Yeah.
right? And this
Yeah.
is a big thing that you see, this masculinization, and a lot of the statues that were women just demolished, including at Abu Simbel. I don't think that was all men. I think there was one woman there, but they get rid of her. It's the way they've done it.
Yep.
And this is inside at Luxor, and
Oh,
maybe this is an authentic piece. It looks authentic to me, but I don't know. So Hollywood had its own World's Fair in 1923, and you
oh,
can see
good.
this very similar, like Art Deco, very small slit architecture, but
Hmm.
then also megalithic, right? Huge.
Yeah.
It
Mm.
was built in this Colosseum, or centered around this Colosseum, which is still working to this day as a sports stadium. And it was completed in a couple of years, not 18, no, what was it? Yeah, 18 months. Come on, people.
The one downfall of the narrative is these compressed timelines. It's really the first giveaway of it all, wasn't it? But they had to
Yeah,
do it. They had no
yeah.
choice. They probably didn't want to, but they had no choice because they couldn't. They had to cram it all in. So
Mm. And you can see how terraformed everything looks, like beautifully laid out already.
yeah, recycled geometry. It was already there.
It was already there. And then this is the Grauman's Egyptian theater, which was probably the most famous Egyptian theater of the day in Hollywood. And they show a lot of new films here, silent films, the silent film era.
Mm.
And this is where they recreated a lot of the cultural narratives, Western perspective of the cultural narratives that we see, like Persia and Egypt. And you can see how absolutely beautiful this theater is. This is a sunburst.
Wow,
This is the sunburst that's
that's
on the ceiling here.
spectacular.
And it looks
Wow.
quite Art Deco, I think.
Yeah.
Beautiful little scarab down here, swans on either side. Um, Amazing, amazing.
Yes.
So by the 1930s, more than 100 theaters across the United States adopted Egyptian revival design as part of the nationwide Egyptomania trend. Among these, the Deco Egyptian theatre stands out as one of only 7 surviving examples in the Rocky Mountains. Actually, I didn't even put that one in. But some of the ones I have got, I'm going to show you. This one is in Ogden, Utah, Perry's Theatre.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. You can see these guys on the roof here. I'm not sure if they're real or not, but these look like they were originally, maybe. And then this is in Park City, Utah, also Utah. It's all been painted up now, but originally it looked like that. And when it looks like that, it looks very kind of Art Deco, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously had some kind of plaster rendering put over top of it, or
Yeah, yeah, you're
that's
probably right.
doesn't look
Well,
like
no,
the
it's probably concrete.
yeah, well, the parged looks like with something.
Mm. And then this is in New York. This is the Pythian Theater, and these are some beautiful sphinxes, Grecian sphinxes that are over the
Oh
theater.
wow.
And these are more Assyrian looking, which is interesting to me.
Hmm. Yeah, it does look like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Odd
this is where you
combination.
start wondering, like, what do you call stuff? Is it Assyrian revival? Is it Egyptian revival? Is it Greek
Yeah.
Sphinx revival? You're like, what is it? And then it looks like Deco as well. So it gets a bit confusing. And
Hmm.
it says on the thing here, if fraternal love held all men bound, how beautiful this world would be, which is really nice. So this is just what I was saying. You can get Egyptian style sphinxes. This is one in London at the 1856 Crystal Palace World's Fair. I definitely think London was Memphis style Egyptian, just the
Hmm.
same as New York.
Wow.
And this is a Greek style sphinx, which you can see is more feminine looking and has um, the wings that are a bit more curved.
Yeah. Something about that photo on the left there was like, let's just wheel in the Sphinx on, put it on a couple of boards on this wooden floor and start, fixing it up. Like the amount of weight involved with that. I don't know. I don't think.
They would say that they had to bring that from Egypt to London
Okay.
for the World's Fair. Does that seem
Right.
likely to you?
Yeah, it's like I don't see any overhead cranes or anything in there for moving around objects of that, you know. But
Hmm. And there's some Lamazou on the side of the Pythian Theatre.
mm,
So these Lamazou seem to show up. These are associated with the Assyrian. Like I'm very cautious to say what Assyrian is anymore because I'm finding more similarities with the Iranian culture than Iraq, which is where we think of Assyria and Babylon. But
yeah.
that's just something I'm not going to get into. And there were also like theaters that were built around a Moorish revival style. That the most spectacular one is probably the Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia, where I was just recently. And it looks incredibly like it actually was a mosque. It was used as a mosque back in the day. I think it still might be, but you can see it looks very Islamic / Persian,
Yeah. Huh.
but it still has these very narrow slit windows. Beautiful theatre. So now we're going to get to the mounds. So there's a map of all the mounds in the earthworks in North America from the Smithsonian from 1894. And so it kind of corresponds quite well with the 13 original colonies of the United States when originally formed. And
Mm,
those settlements align with ancient mound centers, but they're also the river systems like the Mississippi were the same trade arteries that they used. And that's where over 90% of the mounds were destroyed after the 1600s. 90%.
mm. Wow. Well, there's something underneath them, like I've heard there was giants buried under a lot of the mounds and this sort of thing. I mean, I guess that's getting it.
So there's different types of mounds found. There's the conical burial. This is what they call them in the official narrative. They call them burial mounds, platform mounds,
Ah,
effigy mounds, geometric enclosures, hill fort hilltop forts and embankments and stone cairns and ceremonial structures. They all count as mounds.
Okay.
Yeah. And the highest concentration, actually, the highest concentration now, because a lot of them I think have been destroyed, but is in Ohio, Wisconsin, Illinois,
Right.
Iowa, and Minnesota, Michigan, Tennessee, and Kentucky.
Yep.
And that's just that's the original map, and that's just to show you what like one of those mounds might look like today. A few of them anyway. This looks like, what does it look like to you?
Remains of a pyramid of some sort would be my guess. Like, well, mind you, power lines kind of show. Yeah, it looks like a stepped structure.
Looks like a pyramid to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like Teotihuacan, like Pyramid of the Sun.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was happening over here, and then with the mounds, and then in 1803 there was a massive territory acquisition, and that was the newly formed US buying all this land, which they didn't even own, the French, off the French. So it set the stage for the forced removal of the eastern tribes, including the Cherokee, who were based in Oklahoma, but also in Atlanta. And they, like, there's a very close relationship, I believe, between the Louisiana Purchase and the Civil War and how that rolled out in that area. But the upshot of it was that there were many, many peoples displaced, genocided and relocated.
Mm.
And so that would come to be known as the Trail of Tears. That was in 1830s, I think. So the Louisiana Purchase exhibition was in St. Louis, and that was held in 1903. That was 100 years after the Louisiana Purchase, and that was why they had the exhibition at St. Louis, to celebrate that Louisiana Purchase.
Okay. Some of
And
their showing off a bit of some of their booty, I guess, of the part of the
yeah,
purchase.
exactly. Yeah. And so you got it. Yeah. So you can see here, there's 1903. This is such a weird photo. And there's
Yeah.
1803.
Oh yeah. Wow. It's like they're like halfway through the job of, oh, okay, I see. So,
Well, they are commemorating 100 years, but it's
right.
so weird.
Like,
Yeah.
because the 1903 right at the very front, I mean, that looks like fresh, fresh rendering there. Whereas, like, if you look up at the top in the vaulted ceilings and that's all looks. So I guess maybe they don't deny that they put a bunch of 1903 symbols all over it to commemorate, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a mystery. But this is something I came across from that exhibition.
Oh yeah.
Look at this thing. What is that?
Wow. Yeah. It looks like some kind of free energy device would be my guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to comment at all on free energy or?
Well, it reminds me of what you can see in Ashgabat. Is that what they call it? John Levy did a really interesting one on that whole, that town
Yeah.
that's kind of like a ghost town, but has that what they call the Ferris wheel. They say it's the remains of an old Ferris wheel, but it looks like a huge magnetron generator on its
Yes.
side. Like it's definitely not a Ferris wheel, but that's what that kind of reminds me of, some sort of something along that energy capturing device.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like to me like there might be some sort of obelisk or something going up the middle too, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And then this is a serpent mound in Ohio, just to show you that they have these
Yeah.
they would call this an animal effigy.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is an incredible structure. Like,
Yeah.
who built that?
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to switch over to the Mexican pyramids now, which show up in North America. And we're going to look at some of the world fairs, specifically Chicago and St. Louis. Yeah, so this is the Mayan evidence for Mayan style pyramids and maybe Aztec, but those names are no, I'll just start again, just leave that actually. Now we're going to look at the Chicago World Fair in 1893 specifically, and we're also going to look at a film set that, in my opinion, shows evidence of Mayan-style pyramids in Chicago, which used to be called Shilaga on old maps. So viewers are probably aware that Chicago area had a magnificent World Fair in 1893, which has now been destroyed. And then just to show you the sort of the transition, they rolled out these like megalithic Greco-Romano Renaissance style world fairs in the late 1800s, and then by the 1830s, the 1930s, it became a lot more like art deco style. And so that was the style narrative that they were really pushing. But I don't think that those two styles belong to different time periods. These ones I do think belonged to a different time period. These are the Mayan ruins at the Chicago World Fair, and they're made of plaster. That's what they say they are. So this is, they say, is a temporary structure.
Right. That looks like the blasting apart of a very heavy structure. Really.
Sure does. Yeah. Yeah.
So they don't deny they had to use cannons to dismantle it, right?
Yeah, and this is actually what they say is a reconstruction of the ruins from Ixmal on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. So I'm just going to show you a few photos of Uxmal now, and you'll see the similarity. So this is Uxmal, and then you can see these. This is very common. This pattern here.
Yeah.
And you see it here as well. This is
Which
in
we know
Chicago, and this is in Mexico. Like,
wow, interesting. And we know the elites have co-opted that symbol also.
And then they also had a film that was called The Mask of Montezuma, that was filmed in Chicago in 1912. They say, I mean, like, for one thing, this looks like a dude for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Creepy dude. And then this is what they say is the film set, but I actually believe that they were authentic ruins that were still in the sand dunes close to Chicago.
Yeah. Amazing.
And then this is the landing of Cortez, the reenactment of the movie. So this was the Spanish conquistador, Hernan Cortez, invading Mexico City, basically, or Mexico City, which used to be Tenochtitlan, massive.
Oh, right, that's it.
Aztec capital of Mesoamerica,
which was actually at sea level potentially at the time, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not even going to.
Another whole thing I know, but yeah.
Yeah. And then this is just to show you how they dressed the people, and just to show you that, like, is this really accurate? When it's really amazing doing this project, because they love to tell us, you can't culturally appropriate this. You can't culturally appropriate. The cultural appropriation that they have done is horrendous. And I will say, like, if you use AI and you try to generate a picture of, say, an Egyptian, even, it turns out like looking like a buxom, sex girl from, the I don't know, just Hollywood.
It
Not
won't allow. It won't let you do it. Is that what you're saying? Or
uh, no, like you have to like specifically ask it
right? If you
to,
ask it to create it, that's what you'll get. Yeah, I get. I
yeah,
see what you're saying.
yeah, but it defaults
Um,
to Western
yeah.
stereotypes.
Hmm.
And then this is the the ruins at Chicago.
Hmm.
I don't know if this is a real photo or not. It
Not
looks a bit
much there
fake.
really to look
Looks a
at.
bit fake. But I don't know. I just don't see I think it was probably ruins.
Hmm.
And then this is Uxmal.
Wow.
And you can see it's sort of like that same Egyptian style low-lying square windows and the three here.
Yeah.
And then this is just a reconstruction of Tenochtitlan, just to show you it looks quite Egyptian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Does.
sorry, I should have put his name on here, but this guy called Thomas Cole uh recreated this. It's really
Oh,
cool.
is that the guy that did the site where you can like go back and forth to show
Yeah, it's really cool.
Tenochtitlan the way it was? And yeah, that you should put a link up to that. Sort of fascinating. He's
Yeah.
probably done the most research on. Well, I
It's
mean,
in I did put it up on my last
oh, okay.
on my
Well,
architectural stratigraphy, but yeah.
if you're interested in that area, it's
And then this is a imagery of Montezuma, who was the king of the Aztecs at that time, meeting Hernan Cortez. And he looks a little bit Egyptian, the way he dresses in this photo
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So I'm not saying that this is, historically accurate or anything, but I'm just saying we have to be really careful when we look back at these old imagery, because a lot of the old imagery has been hijacked by the Western narrative.
Yeah.
And I don't believe it in a lot of it anymore. I just don't.
It
Like
doesn't
we,
that doesn't make sense. That's the thing. It's only meant for people who don't question. As soon as you scrape just below the surface, it doesn't. None of it adds up. It's all a
Mhm.
big hodgepodge of.
Yeah. And then this is another image of um Tenochtitlan, Temple Maya. It's the temple in the middle,
Mm,
step pyramid, and absolutely gorgeous. Not a Stone Age peoples,
yeah.
clearly, and yet this is a giant native who here, and this is the sort of the image that we're given from a European perspective. I don't know if it's true or not, but the headdresses were definitely a thing. And I just don't think that all of this primitive savage stuff. I think we just need to throw it all out and start again. And we also need
Oh,
to look at the role of what we think of as African Americans, who are not probably not originally from Africa. They are from the United States, indigenous to the United
yeah,
States, indigenous to Canada. Come on, like it's
yeah.
obvious to me. And then this is just to finish off. This is from the recent Fantastic Four movie that I watched with my son last night. We watched this last night, Thomas.
Oh,
And
cool.
I just sort of was reminded that they put this sort of imagery in movies all the time. It's slightly Egyptian looking. I don't know, maybe not, but just a little bit confusing. And that's sort of like the black cube sphinx or something.
Yeah.
um
Huh.
And just to show you that things aren't quite as they seem, these are the sphinxes from the movie Neverending Story, and they're not as big as they make out to be. But
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, those are the ones from the new movie set, are they?
yeah, they're from the movie set. Yeah, yeah, and the movie was shot in Bavaria, I think. Yeah,
Mm.
and so after the answer to the riddle is man. He's crawling as a baby on 4 feet, walking upright as an adult on 2 feet, and using a cane in old age on 3 feet.
Huh.
So after solving the Sphinx's riddle, Oedipus was rewarded with the throne of Thebes and the hand of the widowed queen Josata, becoming king and marrying his own mother. fulfilling the tragic prophecy while unknowingly bringing doom upon himself and his city.
Oh.
So I think that maybe the riddle of the Sphinx is that, Oedipus might think he's quite clever in solving the riddle, and he can see the trees, but he can't see the forest. And I think it's kind of a nice analogy of what's happened in society, actually, that people just look at what they think they're very clever if they can solve a riddle, but that's not the real test.
Mm.
So I think it's to be continued. I'm still researching, I'm still learning, and I feel like if all of us start, really taking this stuff is extremely, a lot more seriously than we have, we can really make some wonderful progress on finding out what's really happened.
Yeah. Just end your screen share so it puts our, so when we finish up here, we can, it'll put our face. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's, it's it is a riddle, but it's the never ending riddle, right?
Yeah.
Like we're continuing to peel off more and more layers of the onion skin. And as we do each one, we seem to figure out that we know less and less to a degree, but it doesn't make it any less, but it becomes more and more exciting as we're rediscovering who we are, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I think what you've presented here about these film sets is going to become the next huge wave of, like just like the World Fair stuff happened over the last, I know it's been going on for probably 10 years, but the majority of people kind of got onto it in the last few years. This could become another whole thing of analysis as we figure out, that it's another whole layer of hidden remains.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks, Thomas. Really
Great,
appreciate it.
awesome. And so the next, you've got it. This has kind of been turned into a 3-part. What's
It's
to
a
come in?
three-parter.
What
Yeah.
comes in 2 and 3?
In part two, I'm going to be looking at the role of Hollywood a lot more closely, and getting into the impact of our perceptions of culture on how we perceive the reality that we live in.
Okay.
And the third one is going to be more focused on trying to put it all together in a worldwide context, and looking at not just at Egypt, but at the Persian Empire and the Chinese Empire, and the Kushite and the Kushan.
Okay.
Yeah, the Greek Indo-Iranian Buddhist connection, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And all of these sort of things are just on my radar, and I'm collecting material right now, and planning on putting together a pretty comprehensive thesis, I guess, on what's happened.
Great. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing that. It's good timing too. Somebody's just started up quite a loud blower or something like that. I don't know if you'll even be able to hear what I'm saying here in the final, but yeah. So okay, great. Well, that was fun and great
Thanks.
job. You really knocked it out again. You've got some amazing images, and looking forward to. I mean, you probably had about 300 slides that you had to boil down to about 100. So you probably just
Yeah, don't
forward to
worry.
seeing what else you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, love.
Okay. All right. Good job. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.